I still see many Christian preachers and pastors say that Jesus was Jewish. Therefore, we have to bow down to the Jewish people because they are the biblical Israelites. I'm going to try to explain it again. Because if you go back all the way back in time, the 12 tribes of Israel had a kingdom and it was divided. Northern house of Israel, southern house of Judah. Judah was named after one of the Jacob's sons, Judah. And it was mainly Judahites living there. But the Assyrians deported them. They were all divorced. They were taken out of that land. And only a few true Israelites left were in Jerusalem, and they were taken into Babylon. And while the Israelites were in Babylon, other peoples moved in the kingdom of Judah. Edomites, Canaanites, Babylonians, you name it, they moved in. And by the time that the Israelites went back to Jerusalem, most of that kingdom was already filled with different non-Israelite people. So in the 3rd century before Christ, the Israelites decided to unite everybody, to convert them into the Hebrew laws. Right? They forced the Edomites to circumcise themselves, but they also brought Babylonian philosophy with them, which was not of Moses. They brought the tradition of their fathers with them. So most people in the kingdom of Judah were not Israelites. And when the Romans took over, that area was called Judea. And all these different non-Israelite people living there, they called themselves Judeans. But Jesus came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, first to the Judeans. But of course, not all of Judah were Israelites. Jesus said, there are here many here who are not of my sheep. So after Jesus brought the real Israelites into the new covenant, united them with the lost tribes, which were also found, the rest of these non-Israelite people kept calling themselves Judeans or Jewish or Jews. So Jews are not the biblical historical Israelites because they were already reconciled in Christ long ago. The others don't recognize Jesus. They didn't want to believe in Jesus because they were not of his sheep. So the other peoples had their own religion called Judaism, which was already a mix of Hebrewism and Babylonianism. And they started to follow their masters, their rabbis. They even called their books the Babylonian Talmud. So Jesus was not one of them. Jesus was not Jewish. Even though Jesus was of the tribe of Judah, he was a Judahite. But there is a difference between a Judahite and a Jew, because a Judahite is a real Israelite, and a Jew is just someone who was brought in that new religion called Judaism. And these Edomite Judic Babylonians, they traveled all through the Roman Empire, also to the Khazar Empire. And they caused the Khazarian people also to go in that Jewish religion. So I hope you see now the difference, right? Because Judah was only one tribe, by the way. But most of the tribes are long gone, right? But the real tribes were already reconciled in Christ. The rest did not want Christ because they were not of his sheep. And until today, they call themselves Jews. So Jesus is not Jewish.